This is my discussion slash review for 911 Season 6, Episode 16, titled Lost and Found. And are you kidding me? Let's talk about it.
Live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings, I'm a big fight.
This episode revolved around Chimney looking for the perfect ring for Maddie and deciding, well, flip flopping about deciding to propose to Maddie. Now, it picked up right after episode 15, but him and Maddie haven't really discussed it. This is Chimney kind of doing his own thing. So he went out and picked the ring, which was a very beautiful ring. And he's debating about whether he wants to do it. Now, this episode, we also see Hen kind of being objective about Chimney and Maddie being married because she was there when Maddie hurt Chimney so bad when she, she was going through her own thing and she was sick. That's hey, it is what it is, and we know that she's better now. But when she was going through all that and she left Chimney to raise Ji-yoon by himself, Hen was there and she knew, and she saw how bad Chimney was broken, how bad he was hurting, and how bad he just really wanted Maddie to be there. She saw him go through all those hurtful and just horrible times. So she doesn't quite feel as ecstatic as everybody else when it comes to him proposing to Maddie and them she doesn't have a problem with them being together, but she doesn't want them married because she still hasn't forgiven Maddie. You know what I'm saying? But everybody else is super excited. But son, it took a turn for me this episode when her and Buck were going in, and Buck realized that she didn't want Maddie to marry Chimney, and Buck was like, hold up, you don't want them what? And then they kind of laid into why she said that. But what I really loved was, we saw Chim going back and forth this entire episode, and we see him kind of debating, and right there at the ending, revolving around one of the cases, we see him finally getting up the nerve to actually propose to Maddie, and then he loses the ring, which technically he never had the ring. I called that from the jump. Like, I knew the ring was never in the box. I knew Ji-yoon had it the entire time because it's just the way, you could just tell the way certain things are going to be written into a script and the way things were going to unfold, because the moment that they got into the in the office and Maddie came and picked Ji-yoon up, like, Ji-yoon had the ring. Like, he never got it back from her. So of course she had it. But the fact that him and Hen had a chance to actually talk, and Buck was not going to let this go. Buck was still going on about it. But the fact that Chim and Himney, well, that's their duo name, Himney. But the fact that Chimney and Hen had a chance to actually talk it out, and he told her that, hey, it's fine. I forgave her. We're good now. And then he even mentioned about the time she cheated on Karen, and Karen eventually forgave her. And I get where Hen is coming from. I get her perspective about it. And we know Buck is all for it. He loves Chim, and of course he loves his sister. But Chimney is okay with it. You know what I'm saying? He's forgiven Maddie, and that's all that really matters. Now, I get Hen's perspective about it because she is his best friend, but at the same time, this isn't something that you really have a say in. You know what I'm saying? You can voice your opinion, and I'll take it under advisement, but that doesn't mean I have to follow through with it. But I do love the fact that they had a chance to talk it out, and her talking to Chimney. I don't know if she's okay with it, but I feel like she's starting to get okay with it. You know what I'm saying? She's starting to accept it a little bit more now. And the entire episode, well, pretty much wrapped around that. And all of the cases were throwaways, in my opinion. I mean, they were just there for filler. I mean, the one case with the people at the garbage dump kind of tied into the beginning of the episode where we see that's where Chimney and Ian get arrested by Athena. But that particular case was, I mean, all the cases just felt out of place to me with this episode. I feel like this entire episode could have been us focusing on Chimney and Maddie, and maybe something else going on with Buck. Maybe, I don't know. But this episode just really took me out of sorts. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the stuff with Chimney and Hen and Maddie and all that little debacle, and the whole firehouse getting involved with the engagement and stuff. That part was good. And then the rest of it, like I said, with the cases, they just felt like throwaways. They weren't even interesting cases, if I'm being honest. I mean, the one with the chick and the calcium in her jaws, I mean, okay. And her having her whole hallucinations and dreams and stuff. I mean, and then the ones with the kids looking for his computer tower with $4 million in Bitcoin on there. I probably would have went to a dump site too to try to find my money, man. That's $4 million just floating out there in the ether. Okay, so yeah, let me find that. And the one with the little kid where his mom is searching frantically for him. I'm gonna be 100%. That's a white parent. I'm gonna be 100%, because if it was a black parent, or if it was my mama, why am I doing all like that? If it was my mama, I'm gonna be 100%. My mama would have shook me real good, like, man, because ain't no way in the world. If she told me to sit down somewhere, there was no running around the store. I mean, because if I did do it, I knew there were going to be consequences after the fact. And then he's in the candy store just eating up a bunch of candy, and he's hiding behind some little figure or a statue or something inside the candy store, and he's just tagging that candy, man. I mean, yeah, if that was my mama, if I was little like that, she told me to sit still and I ran off. Now, sure, I get it. Little kids tend not to listen to the parents, but that's because, you know, they don't get a stern talking to or a timeout or something like that. Now, I didn't like getting whoopings or anything, but so I've done everything in my power. When my mama said, well, Nick, go jump. Well, I guess I don't want to jump, but I guess I got to jump because mama said jump. You know what I'm saying? So, come on, guy. So, like, when, you know, she told him to stay put, you know, you stay put when mama told you to stay put. And that little boy had his mama losing her mind. But good thing that they all reached out. They had to call the police and everything. That one was more interesting than anything else. But I mean, that was the only one, because I really thought something was happened to the little kid. I thought his father took him, and then they found out that he was working the entire time, and kids just chilling in the candy store. But that was the entire episode. And then at the ending, we see that Ji-yoon had the ring, which was, of course, and she put it in her little dollhouse bed. And now Chimney is flipping out, thinking that things may not go his way because he can't propose to Maddie because he doesn't have the ring, because Ji-yoon has the ring. I feel like that will lead up to a wonderful engagement. Something's going to happen, and then they're going to see the ring, and the next thing you know, she's like, maybe G give it to Chimney, and he's going to be like, Maddie? And then it's just going to happen. It's going to be the spur of the moment thing. It's not going to be planned out or anything like that. That's where I see that going. And that was the episode, man. I mean, to be fair, like I said, a lot of everything else was just and the only part we were interested in was Chimney, Maddie, and that whole particular part of the episode. And then Chimney and Hen realizing that, you know, if Chimney's okay with it, she's okay with it too. That's it, man. This is your boy, Nick Incredible. Don't forget to smash the like button so you can't smash it anymore. Comment down below, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them, and subscribe. Peace out.
I cannot complain because today, I'm doing my thing.